This original WSRE presentation is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you.
No, seriously, it was called Battle of the Network Stars. Now, unfortunately, they didn't really fight. That would have been a much better show if they'd actually been given, like weapons and went at it gladiator style. It was more of a track and field type competition, running, swimming, jumping up in the air. I can tell you, seeing Gabe Kaplan and Ed Asner in tank tops and short shorts was not a pleasurable viewing experience. Oh, wait, we're on. Hello again, and welcome to Nightmare Theater. I'm your host, Baron Mondo Von Doren, and with me, as always, is Mittens the Werewolf. We were just discussing the most horrific sights we've ever seen, and speaking of horrific things, we're just waiting for that El Sapo to sober up and stagger in with tonight's movie.
Here I am, boss. Here I am, Mittens. Sorry, I was late. I was upstairs organizing my hairnets, plungers, name tags, and old spatulas. Just remembering the old jobs I had before you found me, and time just got past me.
Typical. While you were up there walking down memory lane, I don't suppose you found a movie, did you?
I did not. The nostalgia got the best of me like it often does. Those were good times, darn good times. But I gotta tell you, not all the days at those old jobs were good days. Did you know I once lost a finger in the shake machine at Jimmy's Speedy Burger? But the good thing was, it wasn't my own finger. But I did find this. It's chapter 1 of Radar Men from the Moon. I found it in an old pile of ketchup packets. Can you show it while I run get a movie? When I get back, I'll tell you my finger story.
Once again, against my better judgment, it seems we have little choice. Let's cue it up. And to be clear, I have no desire to hear that finger story. I wish just once that Sapo would show up with a movie. I mean, this isn't going to be good, but do me a favor and try to enjoy it.
The continued wave of death-dealing explosions struck yesterday at Area Defense Headquarters. As in previous occasions, the authorities are unable to detect the cause of these blasts, which have done untold damage. Who could possibly be doing this?
Well, there are several theories, Joan. But so far, no one is even sure what kind of explosives are being used or how they're set off. Maybe Mr. Henderson will have some information for us when he gets in from Washington.
That guy Henderson wouldn't tell you what time it is. Just what is his job, anyway?
He won't tell you that either, Ted, but it's a big one. He only answers to a few people in this country of ours. I think that... Hello, Mr. Henderson.
Hello, Commander Cody. Ted, Miss Gilbert, how are you getting along with the rocket ship?
As well as can be expected, sir. Our tests with the model are satisfactory. If the government will let us make a few test flights with the rocket...
It's out of the question. This whole project's strictly top secret. Since you people developed the rocket ship for us, and we'll be the ones operating it, it has been decided that you should know more of our plans. I've been authorized to tell you this much. Its primary use will be to combat this wave of sabotage and destruction of our defense system.
You mean the government knows what's causing it?
Not definitely, but tests of the wreckage show that the explosions are of atomic origin.
You mean someone's dropping atomic bombs on us?
Not bombs. No planes have been observed, and the explosions aren't severe enough.
No, from what I've learned of the nature of the blast, they seem more like an atomic ray of some kind. But of course, that's just a guess.
It's the same guess that we've made, because it's the only possible answer.
But no one has ever been able to make an atomic ray machine.
You mean no one on Earth ever has?
Say, this rocket we're building will be able to fly to the moon. Maybe someone up there's built one that could get down here.
We believe that possible.
So that's why you want us to fly to the moon?
Yes. And when you get to the moon, find out if these attacks are actually coming from there, and try to devise some plan for stopping them. In the meantime, we'll do what we can with these attacks here. Is your flying suit still working?
Yes.
We may ask you to use it. If a ray gun is being used to cause these blasts, it's probably being operated from the ground. And if you could get to the scene of the attack soon enough, you might be able to find some clue to the attackers.
I'll be glad to try.
Good. We'll phone you as soon as we have any information about another attack.
All right, sir.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
There she is, right on time. That did it. Let's get over to Kern Pass. That troop train be along soon.
All right, I'll get out there right away. So give me a hand with the flying suit, Ted. The trainload of army supplies was just blasted out in the west end of the valley. A rancher reported he saw a truck parked on a hill overlooking the tracks with 2 men in it, working some kind of a gun. They pulled out right after the wreck and headed toward Kern Hills. Henderson's office gave me a description of the truck, so I'm going out to look for it.
I suppose you'll be wanting this.
Yes, I may need it.
She ought to be along any time now. Let's get out of here. And leave the ray gun? What else can we do?
The loss of the ray gun is not too serious. I brought sufficient equipment from the moon to build several of them, but I do not care to have the Earth people learn the secrets of our weapons. From the description you gave me of your attacker's costume, it must have been Commando Cody in his flying suit. He will probably take our ray gun to his laboratory for examination. So you must go there at once and recover the atomic chamber from the ray gun.
That's a large order, Krog. We hired out to work your ray gun. This business of
You were
tangling-
hired to do anything that I may consider necessary to pave the way for our invasion from the moon. You're being well paid for your work, so do as you're ordered.
Okay.
Is working on this gun going to hold up finishing the rocket ship?
No. I'll just give it a quick examination and then turn it over to the authorities. We'll still be able to take off for the moon next Wednesday.
Take it easy and you won't get hurt. Move back. There's the unit we want. Grab it. Don't try to follow us.
Krog, calling Reddick. Krog, calling Reddick.
Come in, Krog.
A rocket ship is leaving here in 5 days to investigate our moon.
I did not believe the Earthmen possessed a ship capable of making the journey.
I just learned about it myself, but I'm sure my information is correct.
Very well, it is not too serious. We will be prepared to take care of the visitors when they arrive. I still think this is no trip for a woman.
Now, don't start that again. You'll be very glad to have someone along who can cook your meals.
I'll say we will. Don't give her any more arguments. Okay. I like to eat, too. Well, boys, that's it.
Well, the best of luck to all of you, sir. Hope this thing works all right.
So do we. Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir.
Hiya, folks.
Hello, Hank. All set?
All warmed up. We can take off right now. That is, if the ship will stand up to the test we made with the model.
I think it will. Now, let's go. Safety belts fastened. Fire pilot jets. Fire main jets.
Well, you'd hardly know we were moving.
Well, believe it or not, we are. A lot of miles per minute.
She's living up to the test we made. Set a course for the moon.
Right.
We're just about here. Looks like we're on the right track. We ought to be down in another 2 hours. There's a city just ahead.
Where do we set down?
Let's take her back in those hills where we can find a place to hide the ship. Then I'll fly over the city in the rocket suit.
Okay.
Set her down in that canyon.
You are going in the right direction, Earthman. Enter the first door you come to. Turn the control. The door will open. Welcome, Commando Cody. I am Rettig, ruler of the moon.
Apparently you were expecting me.
Of course. For many years, our radio has kept us informed of events on Earth. And my men there have advised me of your every move.
I see you have adopted our language.
Yes. All our people are required to speak English, so we can operate more efficiently in your country.
Do you mind telling me why your men are carrying out that campaign of destruction on Earth?
Not at all. They are merely softening up your defenses for our impending invasion.
Why do you want to invade the Earth?
Because the atmosphere on the moon has become so thin and dry, it is impossible for us to raise food, except in pressurized greenhouses. And none of us can move outside without helmets. So we are planning a mass migration to your world.
You'll find that conquering the Earth isn't so simple.
Ah, but it will be. Because of our atomic weapons. On the moon, we have an element, lunarium, which is far superior to uranium as a base for atomic reactions. And we can completely control the force of these reactions, enabling us to build atomic weapons ranging from huge cannon to these small ray pistols.
It's very considerate of you to give me all this information.
But unfortunately, I cannot permit you to return to Earth with it.
Maybe I have something to say about that.
So much for the effectiveness of your weapons. Now I will demonstrate one of ours.
Well, that was something, I suppose. Radar Men from the Moon, Chapter 1, Moon Rocket. If you thought that chapter was bad, let me tell you right now, they don't get any better, folks. It sure seems like Commando Cody's goose is cooked, doesn't it? Spoilers, it isn't. Not by a long shot. Anyway, where could El Sapo be? I mean, where is he?
Hey, here I am, boss. Hey, so about that finger story I was telling you about.
What on earth were you doing with all that junk?
I will thank you not to call it junk. It's science. I told you I'm going to build me a rocket pack like that guy in the serial, Colonel Bullethead or whatever his name was.
Great, great. You make one. You fly to the moon. Better yet, fly to the sun.
Hey, speaking of the moon, do you suppose there really are cities on the moon? And if so, do you suppose the people in those cities are plotting against us?
I'm guessing a lot of people are probably plotting against you.
Okay, well, let's talk about that later. What do you know about this serial?
Well, Radar Men from the Moon was made in 1952 by Republic Pictures. It had some pretty good for the time special effects provided by the Lydecker brothers. Now, they were nominated for an Academy Award in both 1941 and 1943.
For work like this?
Oh dear no. They were nominated for their effects works on 2 different war pictures. Astute viewers will recognize actor Clayton Moore, sans mask, as one of the bad guys. He later went on to play the Lone Ranger on TV.
Cool, but you know what, getting back to this, I really think I can make a rocket pack like General Palehead here in the serial.
Dream big, Sapo. Strap that contraption to your backside and leap right off the roof. But before you go, did you happen to find a movie for us, Major Icarus?
I sure did, and I think I have found a good movie. This could be the greatest thing since Mrs. Murphy's Chowder. Check it out, boss.
Oh no. I hate to break it to you, but you didn't find a good movie, pal. This is The Devil's Partner, a devil-themed movie so bad, even Lucifer's mom turned her nose up at it.
Is it worse than The Devil's Own?
Worse.
The Devil Wears Prada?
Worse.
The Devil's Advocate?
Worse.
The Devil's Rejects?
Actually, I was in that one. That's not bad.
Devil Fish?
Much, much worse. This film was directed by Charles R. Rondeau, who is best known for directing several episodes of BJ and the Bear. In fact, he directed many staples of 1970s TV, such as The Partridge Family, Kojak, Love American Style, and even The Odd Couple. Most impressively, however, he directed many episodes of the Sid and Marty Krofft Saturday morning live-action masterpiece called Bigfoot and Wild Boy. As for this film, it was made in 1958 but not released until 1961, which is as bad a sign as it sounds.
Well, let me ask you this, Professor. Do you know who wrote the movie?
As cruel fate would have it, I do. It was written primarily by Stanley Clements. He was one of the East Side Kids. He also starred in several of the Bowery Boys movies as Huntz Hall's sidekick.
And woohoo, Americans love the sidekick.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that. Fun fact, he was married to the girl who played Violet in It's a Wonderful Life. Now there's something you didn't know when you woke up this morning.
Wow, that is interesting, boss.
Yeah, and here's something else about this film you people at home might find interesting. In the credits it says, and introducing Ed Nelson. Remember, this movie was delayed a release until 1961. By that time, Nelson had stunk up the screen in multiple films like Swamp Women in 1956, Invasion of the Saucermen in 1957, Teenage Doll, and Attack of the Crab Monsters, which were both from 1957. He was also in A Bucket of Blood, which some of you might remember. He was also in many, many other movies no one ever saw. So I'm not sure who they were introducing him to.
Do you think that the people who made this movie didn't know Ed Nelson had been in any other movies?
Probably not. They probably stood on the street corner and yelled, "Hey, we're filming a movie. Line up if you want to be in it." And Ed was there on the street and he just lined up to be a part of it.
But does this movie star anyone else anyone has ever heard of?
Not really. I mean, it features Edgar Buchanan as the doctor. You'll recognize him from some things, but nothing you'd ever want to watch more than once. In fact, I'd take his presence in anything as a sign that you shouldn't watch it. Hilariously, the film is set in a town called Furnace Flats, New Mexico. I mean, where else would the devil live? It's that kind of nuanced and subtle writing that makes The Devil's Partner what it is. And that's not a compliment, by the way. Well, we might as well get moving. So sit back, relax, as Nightmare Theater presents something you wouldn't want to watch, even if you got a great bargain for doing so. It's The Devil's Partner here on Nightmare Theater.
coffee?
Sure, the best. Fresh ground, too. Frank here brings it all the way from Albuquerque.
Thanks.
New here, huh?
That's right.
Gonna stay or passing through?
Well, it all depends. I'm looking for someone.
Well, maybe I can help you. I've been here a long time.
He's an old guy. His name's Pete Jensen. Well, you know him.
What do you want with him? Your friend or something?
His nephew.
Well, take care, Ida. See you next trip.
Sure, and don't forget the magazines, huh?
Sure.
What's the matter with him?
Wondering what I'm gonna tell you. How in the world did a nice-looking young fellow like yourself come to be a nephew of a crazy old coot like Pete Jensen?
Well, the guy can't pick his uncles. You gonna tell me?
You Pete Jensen's nephew?
That's right. Why is it a crime?
Let's go on over to the office. We can talk better there.
Talk about what?
In the office, huh?
Anything you say.
Sit down. Just when you think it can't get any hotter, it fools you and does.
Yeah, it's all right. But you didn't bring me here to talk about the weather, Sheriff. What am I here for?
Well, I don't know how to tell you. It isn't too pleasant. Your uncle's dead.
Well, that's why I'm here. I was his only living relative. I figured I'd better come by.
How'd you know he was dead? He only died 4 days ago.
Well, I didn't. You see, he wrote me a letter a short while back asking me to get over as quick as I could. He said he wasn't feeling well.
Well, your uncle didn't die from natural causes. In fact, he may have been murdered. I'm not sure.
Murdered?
Yeah. They found him in his shack in a pool of blood. It could have been his and might not. We're not sure of that either.
How do you mean?
Well, the only mark on his body was a small cut on his left wrist. And we also found a goat in the shack with its throat cut. Now, the blood may have been the animal's. I've sent a sample down to Albuquerque to let the lab men decide. I'm waiting for an answer. It sure was peculiar.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but your uncle wasn't liked in this town. He had many enemies. It's too bad I've got to break the news to you like this. Yeah, it looked like he saw something horrible.
Was anything missing when you found him?
We don't know that. As I say, he wasn't liked, and nobody had been around there in months. He didn't have anything that anyone knew of, except these. Here's most of his things. I put them in this carton to make them easier to handle.
Thanks.
Sure is a scorcher.
Hi, Doc. This is Dr. Lucas. I didn't get your name.
Oh, Nick Richards. Hello, Doctor.
Hi, Nick.
Fine.
This is Pete Jensen's nephew, Doc.
Oh? Beats me why anyone want to keep an old goat skin like that. Can't help wondering what they want with it.
Yeah, it's kind of peculiar. No accounting for people's tastes, I guess. I'm going to go up and take a look at the house.
Shack's more like it. A dirty one at that. Your uncle was quite a character.
Yeah, shack, then. Who knows? My uncle may have left me a fortune and never said anything about it. Thanks a lot, Sheriff.
Now, by the way, there's one more thing. I hate to mention it, but your uncle not having any money left some of the folks holding the bag. There wasn't anything left to pay funeral expenses with.
How much was it?
Oh, I'd say $40 would cover it nicely.
I'll take care of it as soon as I'm settled, okay?
That's fine. Tell you what, I'll give you a lift over there. It's only a few blocks, but in this heat, it'll seem like a mile.
It's all right, Sheriff. I'll be okay.
He's a likable sort, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's not much like his uncle. What do you suppose ever happened to old Pete the last few months?
Oh, it beats me. He seemed to get worse with time.
Where do you suppose this nephew of his come from? Heat doesn't seem to bother him.
What makes you say that?
Did you notice? He didn't have a drop of perspiration on him. Must be 100 degrees outside. Oh, well, you got the pinochled egg?
Got it, Doc.
What do you want? Who are you? Well, has the cat got your tongue?
I'm Nell Lucas. I might ask who you are.
I'm Nick Richards, Pete Jensen's nephew. And this is my property you're on.
Well, I never knew Pete Jensen had a nephew. He never mentioned it to me. We used to buy his goat milk.
Put it down.
My father uses it for TB patients.
Oh, you're the doctor's daughter.
That's right. When Pete died, I didn't know he had any relatives, so I continued coming over here for the goat milk. I didn't know it would upset anybody.
I'm sorry. You kind of startled me.
Well, forget it.
No, wait. I am sorry, honest.
That's all right. You don't have to apologize. After all, it is your property.
Well, I didn't mean that exactly. It's just that, well, it's been kind of a difficult day for me. And ever since the sheriff told me that my uncle may have died from something other than a natural cause, Will you forgive me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't very polite either. Shake?
It's a deal. As for the goat, you can come over anytime, if you do the milking.
Okay. My hand. What's the matter?
Just kind of dizzy. Am I right now?
Well, you better see a good doctor.
Is your father a good doctor?
One of the best in town.
That's what I thought. How many are there in town?
Just Dad. Well, thanks again for the milk.
Okay.
Hello and welcome back. We certainly hope you're enjoying The Devil's Partner. What do you make of the movie so far, Sapo? I said, what do you make of this fine movie so far, El Sapo?
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. I was reading this here book. You see, earlier this week, I was down at the racetrack, betting on the running goats and striking it rich.
Wait, you were at the goat races?
Yeah, you see, I can't go back to the horse races or even the dog races. In fact, I was banned from both tracks for life, and then some.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's an amazing story there, but I really don't want to know. Say, how much did you win? I'm entitled to 60%, you know?
Well, I didn't win anything this time, but I bought the results to next week's races from a guy. So next week, I will know all the winners in advance, and you bet I will win big.
Okay, I can see where this is going. Sapo, that book you bought is worthless. No one knows the results of a race in advance. No one. Shockingly, goat racing is not fixed. I hope you didn't pay too much for it.
Oh, it didn't cost me any money. You see, there was a guy down there who looked a lot like you, to be honest. Maybe he's a cousin or a long-lost brother, and he said I could have the book if he could have part of my shoe.
Your shoe?
Yeah, he said he wanted my soul, so I said deal. He gave me the book, and get this. He didn't even take the sole off of my shoe. He said he'd get it later.
Good gravy. Do you know what you've done? You've sold your soul, you nitwit. Your employment contract specifically allocates your soul to me, so it really wasn't even yours to sell. Wait a minute. Did the guy look like me? Did he have a blue coat on?
As a matter of fact, he did. Do you know him?
The new guys wear blue coats for the first 1,000 years. Did he have you sign anything, or at least put an X in place of your signature, since I'm not sure you know how to write?
Hey, I'll have you know I've gotten pretty good at my letters. Mittens has been teaching me. He had me sign this.
Let me see. Of course. He used the same standard contract I used when I bought Alan Alda's soul. Let me see. There's got to be a loophole here somewhere. Aha! We've got him. Right here in the first paragraph. The party of the first part, being of sound mind, hereby agrees to release his soul to, you are nowhere near to having a sound mind. He signed his line with the name Kenny. That rings a bell. I'll call the boss and get this quashed. Why don't you folks get back to the movie?
Whew, so my soul is going to be my own again.
Oh no, it'll default back to me, but first I have a phone call to make. Folks, sit back and enjoy more of The Devil's Partner while I clear up this legal matter.
Hi.
Oh, hi, honey. Be with you in a minute. Well, she took 6.5 gallons, George, so that's 230. There you go, George. Thanks a lot. See you later.
Is the tire ready?
Hmm?
Is the tire ready?
No, it's 1 o'clock, isn't it? Then it's ready. Now, look here, young lady. Do you think this large and prosperous organization would go back on its word to one of its best customers? Allow me. Yeah, there she is. Good as new.
I think I'll have the owner notified and you shall be given a raise.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Say, would you like to meet him tonight? Huh?
Oh, I don't know. My time is pretty much filled, you know.
Oh.
Fresh.
Hi.
Hi.
Don't tell me you need some more milk already.
No, I haven't delivered it yet. I'm on my way now. I thought if you weren't busy, you might like to come over and see how much good the milk is doing.
Where would that be?
Over at Harry Matthews' house? Well, of course, if you're busy.
No, I'd like that.
Can you get the milk for me?
Sure. No, I'll take it.
Hello, Nell. Saw you drive up. Come on in. Oh, got yourself a helper?
Oh, Harry, this is Pete Jensen's nephew, Nick Richards.
Nice to know you, son. How are you, sir? Sorry about Pete. I didn't get on too.
Some people seem to die a natural death.
Well, actually, not much anyone can do for lung trouble, but it does help a lot. And I sure do want to thank you, Mr. Richards.
Well, you're certainly welcome, sir. I'll wait for you in the car now. I'll see you later, sir.
Come on by, son. Anytime.
I will.
Real nice young fella. Pity his uncle didn't have some of these qualities.
Yeah. Pete was always more than nice to me.
I think that's understandable, even in Pete's case.
I better be going, Harry.
Well, thanks again for bringing the milk. You've gone to a lot of trouble for me. And someday I hope I can repay you. And say hello to your dad and give him my best. How's he been?
Oh, he never stops. But I'll say hello for you.
Goodbye, Nell.
That's right, Tom. And Nell said she was here and that the time was about 1:30, right?
She swears that he looked perfectly all right when she and Nick left. I don't understand it. I gave him regular checkups. Never any indication of any kind of a weak heart condition.
What about the milk?
No, it couldn't have been that.
Well, why not?
Because I always run tests on it before Nell brings it over here. See, goat's milk's a lot richer than cow's milk, more apt to sour. I always run the test on it before I put it in the container.
Well, couldn't he have choked as he drank the milk and caught his breath, maybe, and then coughing had a heart attack? I mean, isn't that possible?
It's possible. As I told you before, Harry Matthews had as sound a heart as you or me. No, we'll have to come up with something more professional than that. See, a man just doesn't have a heart attack without some apparent reason.
Hello. Yes, Joe.
I just got a report from Albuquerque.
Read it to me. Thanks. That's the lab report from Albuquerque. You were right. It was goat's blood on Pete's hands.
Still doesn't explain why he died. Unless it was a coronary thrombosis.
A what?
Heart attack. Well, I'll be in my office. If you need me, call me.
Thanks, Doc.
Boy.
You have a bad dream, huh?
What is it, Prince? What's wrong with you? Prince, it's me, boy. Prince, what's the matter with you?
Prince, it's me!
David? David, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's wrong? You sound terrible.
Prince, my dog, attacked me.
Did he go mad?
I don't know.
David, you wait right there. I'm coming over. David! David! David!
Nightmare Theater salutes Furnace Flats, New Mexico. Population the devil and his minions and some sour milk.
Salute!
So a lot of people theorize that Stanley Kubrick made the movie The Shining about
a lamp. It was a big light.
No, about the moon landing.
Oh,
and
the
it
moon
being
landing.
Being a hoax.
Wow, I didn't know that. Wow.
Hello, sir. How are you? Hey. Welcome back to Nightmare Theater. We're here with the curator, and we're here once again, down in the sub basement of the television station, and he's brought us another amazing prop. Tonight it looks to be some sort of prosthetic, so why don't you take it away and tell us what we've got.
So this might seem a little redundant, but these are horns from the movie Horns.
Horns from Horns.
Horns from Horns, indeed. So this was a movie that came out relatively recently, in the past 7 or 8 years or so, starring Daniel Radcliffe, who you may know better as Harry Potter. I think a lot of people do. But this was a movie he did shortly after Harry Potter, and this was kind of a getting away from the Harry Potter of it all movie. It's an R-rated film. He wakes up one morning and he's growing horns, and he finds out these horns.
I tell you, that's not unusual, man. It's happened to me 3 times.
These horns enable him to take on supernatural powers. Now, in much of the film, these horns don't have to stand up to any kind of damage or anything like that. So they're able to be very, very flimsy or sometimes even computer generated. But there is a scene early on in the film where he is trying to literally scrape the horns off his head. He's bashing them up against a wall, trying to see if he can knock them off. So for that, they needed something a little bit more durable, and so they created this helmet, which he would have worn on his head.
He wore that actual helmet on his head.
He wore this actual helmet.
He's got an awfully small head.
He does. It'll kind of go onto my noggin, but not quite. So that he'd then have to put this on and then wear a wig over that.
Ooh.
So because the character was not bald and he did not have a brown head. So that he would then be able to bash his head up against the wall and have something that would stand up. So these are a little more durable than you might see a lot of things that would be used in a movie, because most of the time they're just concerned about getting through the shoot. Once they're through the shoot, they don't care what happens to anything. That's why some of these things don't last very long. But this piece is made with a little bit more heavy weight to it. Yeah. So was done by Robert Kurtzman's studio, who's a very well-known prosthetics and movie horror artist, and really a great piece.
Yeah, it is really nice. I have to say I feel a kinship with this piece for some reason. I'm not quite sure why, but anyway,
These horns are a little bigger than yours.
Hey, let's not go there. But let's talk about Daniel Radcliffe, because he's an actor who has done a lot of films where he's had to use prosthetics or different special effects and things like that. Do you think that's a career choice that he made, or is that something that just kind of happens, or do you think he gets typecast because of that?
It depends on the actor. In Daniel Radcliffe's case, of course, his career break was as a small child doing this long series of Harry Potter films. So he got very accustomed to doing effects work. And but I would say not everything he's done since then. He's tried very deliberately to kind of step away from that. He's done a lot of indie films, but a lot of those indie films have had a lot of effect shots and effects things too. Horns is a great example. This is a very small film directed by Alexander Aja and based on a book by Joe Hill, who is, of course, Stephen King's son.
Right.
This was a very small film. There's not a lot of big names in it other than him. But it's definitely one that's worth seeking out. It's not one that got a big wide release or gained a lot of attention, but it's a great film.
And Alexander Aja, obviously a horror director who's well known, Piranha.
Just recently did Crawl, which may still be playing in theaters as we speak. High Tension, great film.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really interesting to see how these actors' careers evolve and how, because they've had these sort of experiences, that they're not afraid to take on these kind of roles either. I think a lot of actors would probably be very hesitant to take on a role where they're, they might be hidden under something, or they might not, be able to, we talk about like Ron Perlman or someone like that who's made a career on having an interesting face, but also being able to use those prosthetics and things like that. Ideally, what prosthetics would do is enhance what's already there and make that actor look more and more like what they're supposed to be on screen.
And I think in Daniel Radcliffe's case, he really has tried to make a career of being a character actor rather than being the front man, if you will, the big name above the title, which he got, of course, a huge taste of in Harry Potter, and he's been able to go on since then. Since he made so much money on Harry Potter, he can really do whatever he wants. He takes a lot of these little character roles, little things that kind of make mock of his image, and really just seems to have a great time doing it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Well, we want to thank the Merrill Movie Museum again for bringing us these props, and why don't you folks get back to the movie here on Nightmare Theater?
Now you stay here and keep him quiet. I don't want him moving around at all.
Okay, Dad.
He's going to be all right now, dear.
I don't know, David. It's up to you. Dad thinks that under the circumstances, you would be making a wise move.
All right. Suppose I do hire someone to run the station. What am I going to do?
Get well?
It's going to be tough.
Come on, you're a tough guy.
What'd you tell this guy, Nick?
Just that you wanted to talk to him.
Mm-hmm. Come in. Hi.
Hello, Nick.
You must be David. Nick Richards.
I want to thank you for offering to help me out.
Well, I don't know about that. I kind of figure you're helping me out, too. So it works out for the both of us.
Want me to show you around?
Well, you don't have to. I've done this kind of work before. And in this kind of heat, too.
Then it's all settled.
Sure. If you like, why don't you give me the keys to the cash box now? I'll go down and open the station for you.
All right. The keys are there on the table.
Well, so long.
Goodbye and thank you, Nick. You feel better now?
Yeah, I really do. Sure was nice of him to help me out this way.
Yeah. I don't understand when he said you were helping him.
What do you mean?
He doesn't need the money.
No? How do you know that?
Well, I heard Dad on the phone today. He was talking to Mr. Carter, the bank manager, and he told Dad that Nick deposited $2,000 this morning. You know, David, I think Nick's trying to be a real good friend to you.
Yeah, I think you're right, honey. I guess he came along just at the right time.
Ain't nothing free in here, Papers, so turn around and get out.
How much do I owe you?
$2. Thanks, Papers. They're real.
Sure they're real. You think they're counterfeit or something?
This calls for a celebration. get this money?
From a friend. As a matter of fact, from a very good friend.
Where would you get a friend?
A new fellow at the gas station.
What's his name?
How should I know? I just met him.
Now look, little man, just because I felt sorry for you once and give you $2 out of the kindness of my heart don't mean I want to get in any trouble back, understand?
Personally, I don't know why I ever came in here.
You paid me the $2 you owed me.
Well, that's right. A gentleman never forgets a debt, especially to a lady.
Don't come with that high and mighty talk to me. You ain't no gentleman. And I ain't no lady, that's for sure.
And to think that I once liked fat people.
Why, you?
Fat and skinny had a race. Fat fell down and broke her face.
Hey, you get out of my place and stay out.
Hi, come on in. Hey, why so glum? You ought to be happy. The money keeps rolling in the way it has. You and David will be able to get married and retire soon.
Nick, I'm worried about David.
Worried about David? Why?
He just isn't himself these days.
Pretty hard. There was a nasty maul his dog gave him.
No, it isn't that. Something seems to be changing him. He doesn't seem to care anymore.
Care about what?
About me. Every time I go to the house, he's always busy with something. Too busy to see his future wife.
Well, maybe he's worried about his scars.
The bandages are coming off in a couple of days.
I know if I were in his shoes, I'd be worried. I mean, worried that my girl still wanted to marry me. Scars or no scars.
But that's just it. I've told him about this. I told him I don't care what he looks like. I just care about what he is.
Well, to have a girl that feels that way can cure things a lot worse than scars. You want a Coke? I'll buy.
Sure.
Hope they're cold. I just put them in the box a few minutes ago.
Nick, here I am telling you all about my troubles and not even asking you if you mind.
I'm listening, and I know mine. Anyway, that's what friends are for.
Have you ever heard of Dr. Robert Marks?
Marks? No, why?
Well, he's one of the best plastic surgeons in the world. He and Dad were interns together. Well, when this thing happened to David, Dad asked if he'd help, and he said he would.
That's wonderful. And I'm sure with a guy like Dr. Marks, David hadn't got a thing to worry about.
He doesn't. Well, but he still thinks that everybody's against him, including me.
Well, you want some real good advice?
I certainly need it.
Give David a little time. Believe me, he'll come around.
Nick, I don't know how David and I are ever going to be able to repay you.
Baloney. Come on. Come on. By the way, what time is this Dr. Marks coming in?
He'll be leaving Albuquerque tonight.
That's good. I'll see you later, huh?
Hey.
How's it going? What's the matter? You need some more money?
Oh, you already gave me 5. I still got some left. See, I don't need no money.
You, want to do me a favor?
For a friend, I'd do anything. To me, you're a real friend.
Well, you see, this buddy of mine's in a little trouble, and I'd like to help him out. Only I can't do it myself.
You just name it.
You meet me here tomorrow night. And this is between you and me. You understand? You understand?
Here tomorrow night. It's between you and me.
Right.
Yes, I'm still holding. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, it's me again. Yeah, I got another problem with El Sapo. I know you told me I never should have hired him, but I did, and listen, that one's on me. Turns out he sold his soul to a guy named Kenny down at the goat track. Yeah, one of the blue coats. Can you see to it that that contract is null and void? You can? Well, thank you, sir. And one more thing while I have you, can you get me out of this and put me on another assignment? I'm getting really tired of these terrible movies. Hello? Hello? He hung up on me. Well, I got you off the hook, but we're still on it. Still stuck here with you two for all eternity until the end of time, but your experience today has given me an idea. If some newbie could hoodwink you out of your soul, just imagine what I could do when it comes to souls.
But boss, you hate going outside. Are you going to let people come in here? I'm not sure our insurance will allow strangers here in the studio.
For once you're right. Wait, I've got it. We can do it by mail, just like in the old days. Folks can send away for it, and I'll send them a kit. I mean, you will send it. You know how much I hate dealing with the post office, but let's get back to the movie while I develop my prototype.
So then what happened?
Well, this is the strangest part of the whole thing. To reach the highway, that steer had to drift 4 or 5 miles away from the main herd. Then it lays itself right down in the middle of the highway, right smack in front of the doctor's car. I don't get it.
She's a tough break for David.
Doesn't make sense, a hunk of beef killing a man like Dr. Mark.
Was he alive when you got there? Well, at least it was over quick.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know how you do it, son.
What?
Well, here it is over 100, and you're just as fresh as if you just stepped out of a freezer. What's your secret?
Promise not to tell anyone?
Sure.
Well, I'm really the devil. It got kind of hot down there, so I came up here to cool off. Sort of a summer vacation. Wait a minute.
Howdy, Tom.
Hi, Nell. Dave.
There goes a real nice guy. Sure sorry to hear about that surgeon getting killed last night. Well, Tom told me. But there are other surgeons.
Forget it.
If you want, Dave, you can take the cash and receipts with you now. It'll save you a trip coming by in the morning.
Look, if I need any advice from my help, I'll ask for it.
Suit yourself. I was only trying to help.
I'd like to go now. That is, if you don't mind.
I'll see you in the morning, then.
So long, Nick.
Thank you.
David, what is it? You're acting as if you hate everybody, including me.
You don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing wrong.
There must be. You're acting so cold and so hard.
Can't you see?
Yes, I can see. I can see David Simpson, the David that made me the happiest girl in the world when he asked me to marry him. David, I don't care what you think you're going to look like. I only care about what I know you to be. the sweetest, gentlest man this side of heaven. That's what I can see. Only what's come over you? David, we were going to get married. Doesn't that mean anything to you? Well, don't you think it entitles me to an explanation? Or are you really starting to hate me, too? Answer me, David. David, I know how you must feel about Prince turning against you.
Look, have you ever thought how I might look once these bandages are removed? You must have. Why else would you have your father bring in a plastic surgeon to operate? To make me look normal again? Isn't that it?
Well, I don't understand why you're talking to me like this, David. I'm not going to even try. Everybody has tried to help you, David. Nick has.
Oh, so it's Nick now, is it? He doesn't need a plastic surgeon. Well, I can see he's becoming quite a hero with you.
David, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, David.
Papers, understands, won't say a word to anyone. I ain't stupid. Now, will you give me the money so I can get a little drink? It's awful hot, and gee whiz, money sure don't last long.
Okay, here. Now get out of here. And be at my place at 10 o'clock, you understand?
Your place at 10. I ain't stupid. I'll be there.
Hey. Hey, now, what's the matter? Come inside. What's the matter? Sit over here. Now tell me, what's a pretty little girl like you doing with tears in her eyes?
It's David. I slapped him. Oh, Nick, I don't know what to do. He doesn't even know that I'm alive anymore.
Are you still in love with him?
Yes. That is, I love the David I knew. Now, oh, Nick, I just don't know anymore.
Well, sometimes we think we know someone, and then there's a little pressure. It might turn out completely different than we thought.
Oh, but David was so kind and gentle. He wouldn't have been rude to a living soul.
Then why did you slap him?
I don't know exactly. I think it was because he suggested there was something between you and me.
That's crazy.
Well, he didn't come right out and say it. Oh, Nick, he's so strange. I don't understand how things can go so wrong.
Maybe they're not wrong. Maybe this is the way it was meant to be.
I think I better go.
What are you doing here, Papers?
I wasn't doing nothing honest, Sheriff. I was only trying to find something to read.
You'd better go on home now. It's past 10 o'clock.
Past 10 o'clock?
Yes, it's almost 10:30. Now do as I tell you and go on home before you spend the night with me.
10 o'clock. Dad, it's only 10. 10.
Welcome back to Nightmare Theater. I've been thinking about the film and how the gentleman in the movie, I forgot what his name is, made some sort of deal involving parchment, crazy symbols, a Fleetwood Mac album, goat blood, and some other nonsense in order to get what he wanted. Now, I know a good number of you out there are bitter and frustrated and looking for revenge, and have we got a deal for you?
Let me ask you folks something. Are you angry at the world? Would you like to get back at everyone? Would you like the power to make milk go sour based on your very mood?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, then boy howdy do we have a deal for you.
Order the Baron Mondo Von Dorum World Power Kit today and you'll get all that you see here. A parchment. You'll get some goat blood. And FYI, until we get a real goat, we're gonna have to use my blood. So please wear gloves, and please note, gloves are not included. You'll also get a spell book containing all sorts of magical sounding mumbo jumbo. And if that wasn't enough, you'll get a picture of Gavin MacLeod.
Wait, why do they get a picture of Captain Stubing?
I think we both know the answer to that question. You'll also get a candle or incense or something to make it spooky and dark.
All you do is write what you want on the parchment in blood. Say the patent pending magic words and boom, you'll get what you want. Eventually.
Now, how much would you pay for something like this? Wait, don't answer now, because you'll also get a chicken foot and a magic stone.
Send no money now or ever. What I'm selling is not available in stores and can only be obtained through this exclusive TV offer.
Operators are standing by. Don't delay, order today.
And remember, folks, all I ask in return for the fulfillment of your wildest wants and desires is a small, irrelevant token most people aren't even aware they have. You'll never miss it. But friends like us, we shouldn't sully this moment by talking money or prices. Once you get your kit, all will be revealed. All the power of the world is in your hands. Order today, world power tomorrow.
Offer of world power not valid in all 50 states or overseas. Your definition of world power may differ from that of the Baron Mondo Von Dorum organization and its affiliates. Once you've completed your kit, send in 2 box tops from Uncle El Sapo's Down Home Biscuit Mix, the deed to your soul, and 35 cents postage. We now return you to the Devil's Partner already in progress.
Papers.
It's you.
You're late. I didn't think you were coming.
I'm sorry. I was busy and I forgot what time it was. And then the sheriff told me.
The sheriff? I thought I told you to make sure no one saw you coming.
But I couldn't help it, Mr. Richards, sir. Honest.
Well, it doesn't matter. Come inside. Sit down over here.
Is that a goat?
Yes, Papers. It's a goat.
For a minute there, I thought I was having the DTs.
Now, sit here. Here. Take some of this.
What you gonna do with that?
Don't worry. I'm not gonna harm you. Do you remember what I told you this afternoon at the station?
You told me you wanted me to help you do something. Yeah, that's what you said.
Now, wait. Now, hold this for a moment. Where'd you do that?
I want to get out of here.
You're not afraid of a little blood. I want to show you something. I'm Pete Jensen.
You look funny. Is that a man down there by the bush? Daddy! Daddy!
There's the body down there.
I'm Sheriff Fuller, and that's Dr. Lucas.
Boy, are we glad to see you. John Winter's the name, and this is my wife, Martha.
Is he dead, Doc?
Been dead about 6 hours. Looks like a horse trampled him.
All right, let's go over that again, what you told the driver to tell me.
Well, the car got overheated, so I pulled over to the side, let the kids get out of the car to stretch their legs a bit. We'd been on the road a pretty long time. Just about that time, Vera Jean started yelling. Then they both got all excited, screaming they'd found a dead man. I didn't believe them. You know how kids are, Sheriff. Always imagining things. But they kicked up such a fuss. Finally, when I went over to this place where... And there he was. I've never seen such a mess.
So then you flagged down the car and called me. Well, I guess that about does it. Certainly appreciate your cooperation. I'll have a look. Thanks again.
Don't you want a statement?
No, I think I have all the information I need. Thanks anyhow. Looks like you tried to write something.
P-E-T-E, Pete, is R-I-C-H, rich. Pete is rich.
Pete? Pete who?
The only Pete I know is Pete Jensen.
Yeah, you're right. We better get back into town. But that can't be. Pete Jensen's dead. You know, Doc, this don't look so good.
Pete is rich. I think I can straighten you out on that. Papers knew Pete better than anyone.
So?
Most everybody thought Pete didn't have a dime to his name, right?
So you think that that's what Papers was trying to tell us, that Pete was rich, eh?
It's a theory I'm going on. Now, we both know that Nick, Pete's nephew, came to town without much money. He didn't have enough to pay you for Pete's funeral. I happen to know a few days ago he deposited $2,000. Maybe that's what Paper's trying to tell us. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, it does. But why did he do it? You know, write that Pete is rich thing in the sand.
Yeah.
And where did that horse come from? The nearest ranch is miles from here. Now, Doc, there's something strange about this. Now, do me a favor, will you?
Sure, Tom. What?
When we get back into town, if anyone asks you what happened to Papers, go along with me and just say that it looked like a car hit him, huh?
Hit by a car? Why?
Well, let's just say I've got me a hunch. A hunch that there's a lot more to this than you and I can see. Maybe Pete ain't dead.
Tom, you and I both saw Pete buried. I did sign the certificate. You were there when I signed it, remember?
I know, Doc. I know Pete's dead. But I also know that Papers is dead, too.
All right, Tom. I'll go along with you. I'll say he was hit by a car.
I'll get that blanket.
Welcome back. Well, my, the action is really heating up there in Furnace Flats, isn't
it? I see what you did there, boss. That's a hot one.
What are you talking about?
Heating up Furnace Flats, the devil? That's one of them puns, right?
Well, if it was unintentional. Like everything else in this movie, it's one disjointed mess.
Yeah, but you gotta admit, Furnace Flats sounds like a fun place to visit, doesn't it? You know, Mittens and I do have a vacation coming up, you know. I wonder if Furnace Flats would be a good place for us to go and visit.
I think all of America would like to tell you where to go, but funny you should say that, Sapo. The Furnace Flats Tourism Board sent us a marketing video promoting their town as a vacation spot. Since it can't be any worse than what we're already watching, why don't we take a look at it?
Oh boy, I love travel films.
Hello, folks. When you're looking for that next perfect vacation, why not consider scenic Furnace Flats, New Mexico as your destination of choice? Yes, friends and neighbors, conveniently located approximately 3 miles from the blazing, merciless sun, Furnace Flats is always a toasty 150 degrees, even at night. But just like the heat, the fun doesn't stop when the sun goes down. Don't miss our exciting nightlife. You can hang around the coffee shop, the gas station, the Datsun dealership, the coffee shop, the hardware store, or even the coffee shop. The excitement never stops in Furnace Flats. You can get there by car, but watch out for cows. You can get there by bus, but seriously, you should still watch out for cows. Do you like being outdoors? We are an outdoor paradise. Furnace Flats offers endless activities. Hiking, jogging. But watch out for the cursed horses. They've been known to trample the unwary. But if you are injured, never fear. Old Doc Lucas in his white suit will fix you right up and send you on your way. Furnace Flats has something for everyone. Don't delay. Visit today.
I mean, that sounds just like the place for you two. Maybe you should both move there for good.
I think it sounds great. You know, of all the movies we've ever shown, this is the first place I've ever wanted to visit.
What about when you were listening to Pat Boone's Disco Hour on the radio and you swore you were going to Funky Town?
I would have made it there too, except I lost my transfer in Manhattan, and I had to hitchhike all the way back home.
Okay. If any of you are planning on going to Furnace Flats, stop by and pick this guy up. He can ride in the back of a pickup or even your trunk. Let's get back to the lukewarm action of The Devil's Partner here on Nightmare Theater.
What are you doing? Stop it, Letty. Come on, Letty, let's get out of here. Letty, looks like you uncovered something.
Dad, you will talk to him, won't you?
Well, I'll do the best I can. But are you sure there isn't anything between you and this Nick fellow?
Oh, of course I'm sure. David's imagining things.
Well, like I said, I'll do everything I can. But I'm not doing it because you asked me to. I'm doing it because I think David would make a fine son-in-law.
Oh. Thanks, Dad. I'll see you later.
Yeah, we'll have it off in a minute now, David. The new tape's fixed pretty tight. Yeah.
Well, Doc, how does it look?
I've seen worse.
Well, let's face it, Doc, not a very pretty sight, am I?
Well, you're going to need some work. It's amazing the things they do these days with plastic surgery.
What about Nell and me? If we got a chance?
Well, that's up to you, Dave. I will tell you one thing, Nell loves you very much. You're not helping matters by not talking with her concerning your future together.
Doc, look at me. Look at me and tell me honestly what you see.
You know what I see, David.
There's your answer.
Like I said, you're going to need some work, plastic surgery. But with it, I'm sure your problem's only a matter of a few months at most.
No doubt. No, I love Nell too much to hold her to any obligation I might have put her under before this happened, so maybe you better tell her to forget me.
You're exaggerating, son. Other people have had accidents worse than yours. They manage.
Sorry, Doc, I've made up my mind.
Why don't you let your friends help you, David?
Hello?
Oh, this is Nick.
Yeah?
There's a Mr. Johnson here that wants to charge some gas till the end of the month. Yeah, I just wanted to call, make sure it was all right. Well, bye now. So long. Down, laddie. I don't know what's gotten into him.
Yeah, and dogs can sure smell things they don't like a mile away. I was feeding a stray cat in the back a while ago. I guess he senses it.
Nick, I'd like to ask you something.
Sure, anything. Well, what is it?
Did you see papers the day he died?
Oh, I used to work on a ranch once. One of them turned on me. Just got under the fence in time. If I hadn't, I'd have been where papers is now.
You're right. It was a nasty way to go.
Yeah.
Who told you it was a horse? The doc?
Yeah, that's right.
Thanks, Nick.
It's okay.
Well, then if you didn't tell him, who did? You and I were the only ones that knew.
Well, I don't know, unless it could have been those people that found Paper's body. Maybe they stopped at the station for gas.
Look, I asked him who told him, and he said it was you. Now, why would he lie?
I don't know.
I went over to see Nick this morning. I figured he might be able to straighten out this business about old Pete Jensen being rich. You know, that's what Papers wrote, or at least part of what he wrote. Well, Nick wasn't home, so I took the liberty of going through the place.
It's against the law, you know, Tom.
I know that, but I didn't figure an innocent man would mind. Anyhow, all I found were a couple of goat skins and a square painted on the floor under a rug, like it was meant to be hidden.
What kind of a square?
Well, not exactly a square. It had 6 sides.
Hexagon.
Yeah, that's it. And there was some blood on the floor. I think it was goat's blood.
Why do you think it was goat's blood?
Well, there was a goat skin hanging on a clothesline inside the shack. And Laddie dug up a carcass outside. Hadn't been buried too long.
Strange.
And listen to this. That dog of mine likes everybody. But this afternoon, I thought he was going to go through the car window after that fellow Richards. 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 That's it. That's what Papers was trying to write. Don't you get it?
No, I don't get it. What are you driving at?
Papers wrote R-I-C-H in the sand, right?
That's what it looked like.
Well, that's the first 4 letters in Nick's last name. Richards.
You could be right. But even if you are, what's Richards got to do with a horse trampling an old wino to death?
Hello, Sheriff.
Afternoon, Nell. How are you and that boy of yours getting along?
Not so well, I'm afraid. I think he's leaving town.
David leaving town? Why do you say that?
Well, he called Nick a little while ago and told him to drop by the apartment. He wants to make a proposition.
Well, what for?
Well, Nick didn't know exactly. Dad, I wish you could talk to David. I know if he leaves town, I'll never see him again.
Well, David leaving town doesn't make sense.
You're wrong there, Tom. It does make sense. If you'd seen the David I saw today, he's horribly disfigured, in mind as well as face.
Running away isn't going to solve anything.
But you see, Sheriff, it's me he's running away from. He thinks I'm in love with Nick Richards.
Nell, there's something I want you to do for me. It's important. I want you to tell Nick that you and David are leaving together.
What?
Just a hunch, but I think it'll work.
What might work? I don't understand.
You do as Tom says, honey.
I'll see you two later.
We hope you're enjoying the court-ordered penance we call The Devil's Partner. To recap the thrilling action thus far, a mysterious old man enters into a contract with the devil, I guess. A young guy rides a bus from what looks like maybe Key West, or maybe it might have been Boston, all the way to New Mexico. The man doesn't sweat despite the blazing heat. People get suspicious, some milk goes bad, some people die, a dog bites his owner. I'm sure it was all some part of some evil, nefarious plan to do something or other in the screenwriter's mind.
Well, boss, signs of evil are often not noticed at first. Evil plots are everywhere if you look hard enough. Why, I myself see conspiracies and plots almost everywhere. They say I'm paranoid, but I know that guy down at the photomat is hiding something.
No, Alex Jones, you're not paranoid. You're right. There are plots against you for sure. I've started many of them myself. I've made it my life's work to conspire against you.
I bet you're the one who replaced the chocolate pudding in my lunchbox with.
Nope. That wasn't me, but that is pretty good, I have to admit. And yes, that's exactly the nature of evil, a great trick. Why don't you folks return to the thrilling, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat conclusion to The Devil's Partner here on Nightmare Theater.
What's this all about? Why are you worried about David?
Because I think he's going to be the next victim.
Victim, what do you mean?
Well, I may be wrong, but I think Nick Richards is partly, if not completely, responsible for all the trouble that's been going on in Furnace Flats.
Now, why him? He's been helping everybody.
Well, I know it looks that way, but it's queer. Everything he touches seems to go wrong.
Well, why don't we go have a talk with him? Kill two birds with one stone. Keep an eye on David at the same time.
All right, we'll go in my car. How do you know about... Wait a minute. Where's who?
Nick Richards. Did you shoot him?
Did I shoot him? Look, if you're all gone crazy, why would I shoot Nick Richards? I was going to sell him the station if he wanted to buy it.
Then what was the shooting?
A rattlesnake.
A rattlesnake?
Rattlesnake in the house?
Yeah, I must have crawled in through the window. I was looking for it when you came in. I think I hit it.
There's some blood on the floor.
You're right. You did hit it. Come on.
What's this? Blood.
I'll go get my flashlight. Evening, Ida.
Evening, Sheriff. Now, David, Doc.
You seen the snake?
Sheriff, in all the years we have known each other, I have never been in the habit of seeing snakes.
He means a rattlesnake, Ida.
Can't say as I have. Saw that cute Mr. Richards, though.
Richards? Where, Ida?
You don't have to shout, Sheriff. What's all the excitement?
We think he might be in trouble. If you tell us, you might help him, Ida.
Oh, I saw him just a few moments ago. He was coming out of the gas station. Looked like he was hurt or something. I don't know what's come over this town. Used to be a real nice place to live in. Now,
Look, would somebody mind telling me what's going on around here?
Well, I'm not sure myself yet, but I think I have an idea.
What?
As I said before, I'm not sure, and like Tom here, I'd just be guessing.
Well, get to the point, Doc.
From all indications, our young friend Nick Richards seems to have a tremendous power. A power to such an extent that he's capable of turning himself into anything he wants.
You must be kidding, Doc.
Dad, what are you saying?
Well, I'm afraid that what the doc says is true. Nick's to blame for everything that's happened around here.
Yes, but what has the snake got to do with Richards? I don't understand.
Well, here's Joe. Come on, let's get in the car.
Now, wait a minute, Tom.
Doc, can we get in the car? We're wasting time.
let him make peace with his maker.
Boy, that was some ending, wasn't it? The devil guy died and all the evil he had inflicted was suddenly reversed.
Do you suppose the milk that went bad was suddenly drinkable again? And I still wonder about that poor cow that got run over. Do you think he turned out to be okay, boss?
I'm not sure. This film really doesn't go out of its way to answer those burning questions.
Maybe it's answered on the Criterion Collection Blu-ray Director's Cut version of this film.
Nope. This film has never been released in the Blu-ray format. It shouldn't have been released in any format. Why it was released at all is a big mystery to me, just like the spoiled milk and that rundown cow.
You know, you're right, boss. Some things are just better left unsolved. The fate of the milk and the cow can be added to cinema's greatest unsolved mysteries, like Rosebud, like what that guy said to the lady at the end of Lost in Translation. The milk mystery will never be solved.
If that's your main takeaway from this film, then I guess it was time well spent. Speaking of mysteries, what do we have on tap for next week?
We're going back to the Old West for this classic film.
How about it, Jesse? You haven't got a chance.
We hold the secret of life.
He wanted to save a friend. She wanted a world of obedient killer zombies.
Jesse James will kill us for what you are doing. Jesse James will be caught and hanged in Shelby.
Her fiendish Frankenstein monster stalks the West's most fearless outlaw.
Save your strength, Jesse James. You will need it.
Woo doggy, that looks like a convoluted mess. But tune in anyways, folks. You never know what might happen. El Sapo might ride a bull. Maybe Mittens will wear a cowboy hat. Maybe I'll shoot the both of them just for snoring too loud. Who knows? But until next time, may all your dreams be nightmares.